Welcome to another PGMS membership webinar. My name is Joe Coughlin. I'm the Vice President of PGMS. I'm the Landscape Services Manager over here at Richland School District in Richland, Washington. And today we're going to be chatting with a fellow member and friend of mine, Mike DeBoer of Aquinas College in Michigan, one of our all-time favorite states. Right, Mike?
Yes. Some would have that debatable right now, but yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Mike went through a pretty interesting situation, and we thought it would be a great story to share with our membership. I would say it's probably on the extreme side of what most of us have been dealing with here with the COVID-19 situation. So Mike, why don't you fill us in a little bit about yourself and your university?
Well, like you said, we're Aquinas College. We're located in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and we maintain about 107 acres. And most of that, some of that is also located at the the president's house on the other side of campus. That's another 5 to 6 acres, and it has a historic Olmsted Brothers garden in that as well. The college was founded in 1886, so we've been around for 134 years. We've got a student population of about 1,600. And for all of that, there's only 4 of us that take care of all the grounds here. So I've been here about 14, 15 years. And the challenge of shutting down in March was we still had all of our snow plows on. So our salt boxes, everything. So the challenge was, when we came back, not only was everything overgrown and everything that we've maintained over the years, just in my mind, decimated and very frustrating. But I mean, as you can see in some of these photos, we had wildlife coming up that normally would not even follow up or come up in these areas because usually there's a lot of people around. So with that aspect of it, it was tough it's been tough to get a lot of this back. And you know, as you can see here as well, I mean, some of these some would say, hey, just leave it a meadow, you know, which I can understand as well, but we kind of maintain this area and we didn't want to get these areas overgrown too much. But it's definitely been a challenge. We're gone for 2 months, 8 weeks, and it was definitely tough. They wouldn't even allow us to come back for just one person, just to at least mow. So it's definitely been challenging trying to get the campus back in order.
I bet. So back in 2017, you won a Grand Green Star Award for your campus. So obviously, to win an award like that, you're a very detail-oriented person. You have stuff laid out months in advance. You've got great cultural practices. You got seasonal color change-outs, nutrient programs, all those types of things that you're balancing and working on. Just for those of us that haven't experienced it, how much notice did you actually get for this decision, both the shutdown and then coming back?
Well, so basically there was none, Joe. There was we came in on Monday, and the governor here had put an executive order out that it was stay home, stay safe order. And the next day was Tuesday, and we were home what was originally just supposed to be for 3 weeks. So we thought, okay, we can handle 3 weeks. And then they extended it, and she extended it and extended it. So therein lies the 8 weeks. So we had no warning really. It was just, hey, this is what we're gonna do. You guys are to stay home and, you know, just let everything lie.
Wow.
So there was no prepping, there was no putting things, you know, there was nothing. It was basically shutting the computers off and the lights, and they said, we do not want you back on campus until, you know, things kind of cool down a little bit, and or we're allowed to come back from our brass up at the top. So
right. So basically, you had campus security just basically left on campus to keep things under control and secure. Yep. But other than that, everybody was gone.
Yeah, maintenance was gone, so there's no checking boilers, there's no checking anything.
Wow.
And I mean, we had to have, you know, our physical plant director came in. He had to do a couple things here and there, but they they were real even leery. You know, this is the beginning days of the whole COVID thing, and so everybody was real leery about that even. But that's, you know, you had to do something, right? And
Sure.
so he had to
Sure.
pop in here a few times for some things like that, but they would not. I mean, it was absolutely, and even still almost. So right now it's just campus safety, the maintenance department, grounds department, and housekeeping department that are here, and that's it. There's no
Wow.
other support staff here. I mean, it's this. We have the run of the place, and there's nobody else. There's no other departments here.
That's crazy. So when you did get the call to come back, how much input did you have from your supervisor or upper management, what your accomplishments and goals were going to be starting back up? What was your thought process? What were you and your crew thinking? Kind of walk us through a little bit, you know, when you stepped back on and saw that meadow and the grass and the deer. I mean, where do you start?
Well, that was the thing, right? So it was first is we just walked around everywhere, and well, first thing we had to do, we had to put all the salt away. We had to put the plows away. We had to take all the plows off. We had to get the summer stuff out. I mean, we had none of the stuff ready. And we left in March. You know, the month before was obviously February, so we were still dealing with some cooler weather and didn't know. I mean, we had some, you know, we usually had pop-up snowstorms here and there, even well into April. So nothing that stuck on the ground this year, but in years past they have. So we had to put all that stuff away. Then we had to go assess where we're going to start, what we're going to do. I mean, everything was just, it was a mess. I mean, it really, to be honest, it was disheartening. It was very frustrating. It was it's like, all these years of these hard work and maintaining had just gone out the window because we weren't able to put snapshot down in beds. We weren't able to do anything. Everything, the weeds and everything just took over. So we just kind of started chewing away at it, and we just would start on one side of campus. You know, my main focus was getting all the stuff that people see first. So, you know, like this particular photo is along Fulton. That's our main entrance, our main drag. We want to get all the buildings and the lawn in that area is looking good first. So it didn't look like, hey, this campus is abandoned. And, you know, we still wanted to have that perception of you know, hey, Aquinas College is here. We're open to a certain point, and we're doing okay. And so from there, it was just kind of getting the high profile areas done first. That's kind of what we started at first.
Okay, yeah, because I think that was one of the things that first surprised me when I saw some of your social media pictures was like this current picture being shown. You went from that to plant your pots and your flower beds, and you know, not sure how many students are going to come back, what your budget scenario is going to be, all those unanswered questions.
Right.
I was curious what the decision making was to plant your annuals, especially with nobody around.
Well, that, you know, like I said, that definitely was, you know, we wanted to bring some sort of normalcy to the campus. And I had already purchased all the flowers from fellow PGMS member Ryan Stayhauer. So, and I don't want to, you know, go back in any of that. And I had all the flowers already, and I wanted to get them planted. And at that point now, it was like, you know what, this is good because it's going to bring some hope and hopefully some joy. And we received a lot of that, not only from our board of trustees, but our president, who has said, I am so happy. I've gotten multiple emails on that, on how happy people were, even from the neighborhood, you know, the neighbors that live around here. You know, we are so excited to see things blooming and flowers being planted. It just gives hope and some joy to otherwise, you know, a crappy situation, to be honest. And so it worked out really good. And we were very happy to do it, especially, you know, we plan on opening up in, you know, mid-August, have students return to campus. And this stuff will all fill in by that point even more, and especially with parents and, you know, freshmen coming on campus. And so hopefully it does, and I think it did bring at least some joy and some hope to people that, you know, things ain't that desolate, I hope.
Yeah. No, I think what you did, you and your team, and it's just a great example of the importance of, you know, creating a sense of normalcy for people during these times. You know, the neighborhood folks that can walk through, see everything. I think the the support of a fellow PGMS member. I think that's a great addition. Have you found that these relationships that you've made with some of your fellow members is paid off in different ways that you didn't anticipate through this?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they're invaluable. Just, I mean, I could just go on and on and on about not only the professional development that I've learned through a lot of the men and women with PGMS, but just the friendships and the bouncing ideas off each other, and now going from ordering plants from one of them, and it's just been absolutely amazing. It's honestly one of the best organizations that I've ever joined or been a part of, to be honest with you.
I couldn't agree with you more. That's why we're doing this together. It's because it's the relationship that we build. So
it is, and it's the support. I mean, if you're down, even if you're down on your luck with anything, you're going to have so many people support you and try to lift you up either any way they can. I mean, I guarantee you, I could probably call somebody and I could have an army of people here helping me out, so it definitely has been rewarding.
That's awesome. So in your mind, what's probably the most difficult thing and the most positive thing that you are taking away from this experience? The whole shutdown, having to clean back up, just everything that you've been immersed in. And has any of that, either negative or positively, changed how you are going to progress and move forward with maintenance on the campus in the future? Different equipment, different maintenance styles, different priority locations.
Well, one thing is going to do is definitely different priority locations. We're going to put more emphasis on certain areas that are going to be more important. They've always been important, but I think with something like this happening, we need to focus on those main areas. Like this particular example, that this is in front of this is the Edward Lowe estate. It's called Home Dean, and this is where basically a lot of administration officials are. The president's office is in there, and a lot of times you kind of, because you can't see this from the roads, so you can only see it in campus when you're in campus. And for example, like if you don't, I mean, that's a very old building. It's a Karen Shipman garden if you're looking at the front of the building to the left. So that garden was put in the 20s, and we kind of neglected it, and it got overran bad. It was in rough shape, and it's still not in the best shape, but it's better than it was. So being a staff of 4, it's very hard to get people to help. Usually we have a crew of 8 to 10 students. We're not allowed to have any student workers on campus right now. But we will. We got 2 coming tomorrow that'll hopefully help us out. And then the Alumni Association, they want to do some volunteer work. They're going to hopefully help us out here in the next couple of weeks, just with weeding and stuff like that. But to get back, we definitely want to focus on all of our high priority areas a little bit more, that if should anything happen like this, we would have a little buffer. You know what I mean? So,
right.
So that's definitely one thing that we would redo if, hopefully
Sure.
this don't ever happen again, but
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, Mike. Well, number one, as a friend, I just want to appreciate you being supportive of joining up onto this webinar, sharing your experiences today with the membership. Knowing you as long as I have, and the dedication you and your team have to the university, and the winning grounds that you have provided year after year, it's just hard to fathom, what you've gone through, both professionally and personally. So it was definitely gut wrenching. Just like I said, you can about imagine doing all that work you've done over these years, and it was definitely tough to, very overwhelming. Sure, to walk away and bring it back.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think anyone will be surprised that you're screaming back to the level that you were, and
we're trying.
I want to wish you the best, Mike. Definitely.
Well, thanks, Joe.
And, thanks for joining us, and for our PGMS family, that's going to be a wrap, both from myself, the PGMS staff that support us putting these things on, the rest of my executive board. We can't be prouder of how PGMS members have not only handled these difficult times, but how they've reached out to help others, like in Mike's case, and others in the industry that are non-members. We're pretty much all in this together. I also want to thank our partners, both local and national. We couldn't do what we do without you guys, especially in this crazy times where we know you guys your world's upside down, and it's tough to get supplies out. And the fact that you can respond even on short notice to support us it's greatly appreciated.
Absolutely.
As PGMS members, we try to lead by example by helping others to grow and succeed. So what I like to let the membership know is take advantage of our new landscape management guidelines that just came out. I think everyone will be impressed. It's just a document that's going to continue to grow and assist us. Get more involved. I've always said you get out of an organization like this only as much as you put into it. So look into joining a committee. Share your story. Send in photos, successes, challenges, failures, whatever it might be. We all learn from that. We all share in that. It's not a competition. It's for us all, to learn from. So you are our PGMS family. I wish you all to be safe, and we'll get through this together. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys.